live, baby. How you feeling?
I'm feeling real good. How you feeling, brother?
Oh, I'm blessed, man. See another dirt, a little stormy outside, but we here.
So, this was a long time coming in the making. I remember we had plenty of conversations about what we was planning to do with the brand, with the name, and it's coming to fruition, brother.
You know, here we are, man. Respect the journey. We live. Model Citizen JB Dolla, man.
Yo, so
How you want to start this off, man?
you give them a little bit about the name of the show, what it's about, what we stand for. We're gonna give them a little sample of it, and then we come back into it, really uncover everything, lay it out for what to expect going forward.
Sound great to me. But before we jump into a little music break real quick, man, I just want to give a shout out to 105 Live,
Yes,
1051 Live for giving us this opportunity, this platform to do what we do. Derek Watson, aka DW. Yo, super engineer behind the boards, man. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate the opportunity,
Appreciate the
sir.
opportunity, man. Salute, man.
Yes, sir. I think before we do that break, though,
Talk to me.
obviously the name of the show, Respect the Journey, also known as RTJ. Give them what that stands for, my brother, if you don't mind.
All right, Journey stands for joining others under righteousness, nobility, and equality. We here as a community-based program, just to, give people the opportunity to express themselves and what they got going on. So if you're doing something dope, you got something amazing, come holler at us, man. We got a seat for you, man. We want to spread your good words and your good vibes, man.
Basically, we want to be the voice of the community. There's a lot of us that's out here that cry about not being heard. Some of the work that we're doing not being seen is going unnoticed. So we are just a small cog in the bigger machine. And if we have the platform to utilize that to push things forward, that's what we want to do. That's why we are here. We are not the only ones out here putting boots to the pavement and getting this work done. Like we said, Engineer D over there in the cut. When we got time to chop it up with him, got to find out a lot of things that he got going for himself, things that he's going to begin, things that he stands for, and it's all in alignment with that. And for us, we want to align with like-minded people in order for this to work. As everybody here, it takes a village, and that's not just for raising kids. That's for us to, push our objective forward. And that's the only way we're going to move out here. So
You know my motto, each one teach one. We all become scholars, man.
time is now. There's no better time than now. Because I say that's the one thing that's not guaranteed is time. So if you got the opportunity, you waking up every day, that is your opportunity to get it going. So
Yeah, let's
let
get
this
it
mark
started.
the first day of that, moving forward. But like we said, we're going to jump into this quick music break, and then we come back. We're going to talk a little bit.
Yeah, you want to break it down what the topic of the day is?
Yeah, just give them something for you to ponder with. Today's kind of conversation was kind of motivated by, based off this pandemic and what we've seen a lot of people do since a lot of things have been shut down, and it's given us a lot of time to think, reevaluate, and really assess what we want to be doing. So today's topic that we're going to discuss is, are we really grinding or are we digging an early grave? And we'll break down what that meaning is, and then get into some of the thoughts from the Facebook
And
Live.
I just want to give a couple of shout outs to the people because we put this question out there on our personal
We'll
Facebook
save it.
page.
Give them for that when we come back.
But they had some great comments tonight. Yo, tune in, check in, stay tuned. We here.
We'll be back after this break. Respect the journey.
Gang, gang.
105.1 live. We are here. We all respect the journey. I'm your boy DJ B Dolla alongside
Your man, ModelCitizen J.
Yes, sir. So it was Valentine's Day, so we had to hit him with a little bit of Teddy P.
You know that little Teddy P, not
Loving
that
somebody.
60-40,
You know
not
what I
the
mean?
80-20. You know what I'm saying? Love somebody,
Look,
you know?
shout out to all the lovers out there. I am on the married side of the fence, my brother.
Yo, and I'm on the single side of the fence.
Look,
so,
that's gonna be a real interesting dynamic here. You know, down the line we touch on them topics to see what it looks like.
Different perspective, different shoes, different situations.
Yes, sir. But it's the weekend of love.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever plans you got going in, chime in, call us up right now. Give me some tips, because after you with somebody for so long, you start to run out of ideas to be creative.
And after you've been out the game for a while, you don't know what to do. So, you know, it's a new day and age, man. Call us in, man. 984-212-2873. Let us know what you're doing for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, definitely wanted to touch on the two songs that y'all just heard. It was J. Cole, North Carolina representative.
Yes, sir.
With Love Yours.
Fayetteville, staying strong.
And then, that Teddy P with Loving Somebody. Now,
you know
learn on our show there's a lot of reason why things are strategically chosen, you know, for what we play, what we talk about. There's always a purpose behind that. I think a lot of platforms that are out there that's missing, you know, with what is the reason they're talking about that? What's the reason, you know, that's the main focus. So I want to make sure we don't lose sight of that. So what we bring to you, there will be a reasoning behind that.
Please understand, nothing that we do is trending. We're not doing it because it's trending. We're doing it because it's organic, because we genuinely like it. You know,
like this is a very vital time right now with everything going on in the world, you know, and people trying to find direction. They trying to find meaning and understanding for what's going on. And again, there's always a purpose for everything. In the midst of the turmoil, there's a reason why. And, you know, you can't, like you say, you can't rebuild something back up until you tear down whatever's wrong and completely start with a new foundation and build that back up.
Destroy to rebuild.
Exactly.
Man.
And this is what we're trying to do. So some of the songs are dedicated to the lovers this weekend. J. Cole's message with Love Yours is basically speaking about loving your life. You know, I know a lot of people are going through a lot of things right now, but it doesn't mean that's the end. I
think one of the most important things we learned during this pandemic, while we still living it, while we still going through it, is love yourself. Self-care. You know, mental health is one of the most important things in the world. Because if your mental's not strong, then your physical's going to be weak. Then you're not going to be able to go out there and achieve anything positive. So I think that J. Cole song fits so perfectly with what we're doing and how, you know, you got to love yourself on your journey.
And if you look at that transition, right, to have J. Cole join first with Love Yourself. Because, again, you can't, you know, love anybody else, you know, in relationship, friends, family, whatever it is. If you're not right, you're not going to be able to put forth that necessary energy to love somebody else. So you know? Love yours. Love your life. Embrace what's going on, whether it's, you know, the beautiful side or the turmoil. Understand it. Work at it. And just get right. That's it. And then leading to that Teddy P. Now, I'm better now. So now, let me bring you on this ride with me.
I'm so good. You know, I can love somebody else. You know, I can spread this energy. I can spread this positive vibe.
Shout out to Mama Dolla out there listening from New York, from the hometown. Talking about what we know about that song.
Listen,
look, we're younger, but we, you know what I mean?
We young, but listen, Mama Love, remember, we used to be little, hear the songs in the crib, two-stepping while you was cleaning.
Look, it is Saturday.
It's Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. You know what the vibe was growing up.
Look, that was my whole playlist. She thought I'm writing it down. I might need this later on in life.
Listen, born in the 80s, raised in the 90s.
That's the classics right there. But let's jump right back into this topic. What we were discussing was, are we grinding for real, or are we digging an early grave? When I thought about that question, I really tried to put it in a perspective where you can understand what I really meant by that. Because I've been around a lot of people that's like, yo, I'm out here, I got 4, 5, 6 jobs. Yo, I'm grinding, bro. I get up, I work at 7 a.m., get off at 3. Now I'm back at it at 4.
I work to 4 to
get
12.
Off at 12. I'm back at it. I'll pick up overtime. But I stopped to think, like, are you really doing all this as a progression to your own dreams and your own passions and what you ultimately want to be in life? Or are you exuberating all that energy and pushing all that out for somebody else to help them build that up? Now, I don't want that to be misconstrued.
Right.
If you have a career job and it's something that you love to do, salute and by all means. But what I'm saying is, if there is something that you really want to pursue and something that you want to create and make your own, are you putting that same energy into that the same that you're putting it into somebody else that built something up that you're just working for. So I wanna know what your take is, how you view that. With the difference between those both.
Well, there's definitely a big difference between the two, because I think, in my perspective, my opinion, a smart person, does their 9-to-5 job, and they use that 9-to-5 to help contribute to their passion, to their goal, to their dream, to what they really want to do. Unfortunately, some of us get caught up in the system of we want materialistic things. We think those are what makes us happy.
Mm-hmm.
So we find a job or a career that satisfies the immediate need,
mm-hmm.
not the eternal or everlasting need. So therefore, we're going to chase that rat race of getting what we want.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, I see a lot of people digging an early grave as they're grinding.
Okay. Now,
but
is that the, like you said, the mental aspect of it, to think because we want these materialistic things so bad, that because we're willing to go that extra mile at work, that we are really grinding just to have that.
Exactly.
But then where's the longevity in that?
What's the legacy? There's no substance behind it. I could tell everybody, yo, I done worked, 50 hours this week, 60 hours this week. I'm about to buy the Concord Jordans, or I'm about to get the new joints that's about to drop, kid. I'm grinding.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, somebody else could work the same 9-to-5 that I'm doing, and they're going to sit there and tell me, like, where are you about to buy the Concord? That's what's up. I'm going to take that same 450, 350, and I'm going to use it to buy some equipment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to put this down on an investment that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy me some camera equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy me some art supplies, that's going to help me build, my portfolio and stuff like that. In my opinion, that person is grinding, and they're not digging a grave. Mm-hmm. They laying down a foundation.
Now, again, like I said before, it's no knock on anybody that does.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I appreciate everybody and anybody on their walk of life.
Mm.
I don't care what you do, as long as you're doing something positive and productive, I salute you, I support you. This is just my train of thought, my personality, and the way I think and the way I see things.
Yeah, it's just like a different, it puts you in a different space,
a
different context when you're saying, I'm putting on a uniform, right? And you got the logo for whoever you're working for, opposed to you putting on it and it's your logo.
And it's yours.
Like, I could tell you right now, and I explained this to you the other day, I hit you up, and I was like, yo, like you said, it feel like the first day of school, first episode. Like, we got to come in here fresh. We got to come in here looking right on the good foot. So I hit you up like, yo, what you putting on tomorrow? Just to make sure we was on that same vibe. And, with the respect to Journe, we have RTJ, the brand, which is our clothing line as well. There's a lot of different arms that are running this machine with us. But I was talking to my son as I'm trying to figure that out, and I'm looking on the bed at the outfits laid out, and I'm just smiling for a second. I'm like, yo, this is something that we created.
Grassroots.
Like, I still wear other brands.
Right.
But it's different when it's like, yo, I'm walking outside.
Wait,
this is mine.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't.
Well, now.
I don't wear any other brands.
Well, I mean.
Shout out to all the other brands out there. I will support you. I will rock you. But as far as, like, big name brands and stuff like that, I can't do it.
But it's different. It's different when you have your own. Because
I'm out here for the entrepreneurs. I'm out here for the middleman trying to be the big man out here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you a little dog in the yard, you got a brand, you got something. Yo, hit us up.
Yeah.
At
the end of the day, and then we'll get into some of the comments because you did get a lot of traction with that question.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we want to just implement into your mind, think longevity, think legacy, think long term, think what's coming after. Like, again, you have a son, I got a son, my niece is here, I got 2 other little ones at home, Aaliyah and Imani. When I'm gone, when my wife is gone, what are they gonna have afterwards? Like, what was built to set them up?
So I guess just to clarify the topic of discussion, we want to get people to
shout out to Dre, by the way.
Yo, young Dre, we love you, kid. We out here.
You already.
That's what we trying to say on today's topic, discussion. We want you guys to start thinking about the longevity. Think about tomorrow. Think about your kids. Think about the future.
Mm-hmm.
Love the fact that you have a job right now. Love the fact that you have a career that's something that's going to provide for you, that's going to help you sustain some type of longevity for yourself. But you're not going to be here forever.
Mm-hmm.
What about your legacy? What about the one that's going to be behind you? Are you grinding to leave something for them? In the form of, you can leave them land, you can leave them a business, you can leave them education. You can show them, you can give them information and the knowledge that you have, that you acquired through the job that you have, through the career that you pursue. But we just want you to start thinking,
You know, just don't be working and working and working, and then, you know, after some odd years of working, 40 years, 60 years of working, you don't have nothing to show for it. It's done. You don't have nothing to pass on to your kids.
And the thing about it too, understand the situation. Like, there's a lot of companies out here that have been successful. Especially look now in this pandemic. There's a handful of companies that are still able to keep going in the midst of everything that's going on with jobs shutting down. But there's a select few that's been found a way to accommodate in this time and still progress going forward. So when you are blessed to have an opportunity to work, or you're blessed to be a part of these companies, don't also misconstrue that for the fact that I'm just working with somebody else. Like, find out the formula to what they're doing that's making them successful, that mentorship side of it. Take bits and pieces of what's making them successful, implement that in whatever your business is to find out, all right, this is the formula how to keep going in the midst of a pandemic. This is how, when it looks like business is not striving, this is how you flip that on them to make sure I'm not hurt by that.
Pretty much, in layman's terms, what V Dollars is saying, when you go to work, make sure you're learning something. You're not
Keep
there
the eyes open.
You're not there just to get a paycheck. You know, keep your eyes open. Listen to what, you know what I'm saying, the higher ups are saying, what they're doing and how they're moving, and apply it to your personal everyday life, you know. Each one teach one. We all become scholars, man. Take what you know, take what you can get, and go from it.
Yes, sir.
You know, real quick before we jump off the topic.
Yeah, here's some of the comments. We had a lot of,
you know, we had
traction
a
discussion.
lot of traction. I love it, you know.
Yeah, give them a shout. Let's hear what they had to say.
Yo, first comment right off the rip, I love it. You know what I'm saying? My homie Wonderful Turner. You know what I'm saying? Shout out here out there in the ATL doing big things, man. Salute, brother. Yeah, his comment was, I'm digging a grave for my naysayers. Never gets old to me. I brought some land and buried them in. You know what? With a mentality like that, you can't do nothing but respect it. Take no prisoners. He's out there getting it. So if you doubt that man, you stand in his way, just let it be known, you're gonna get knocked down.
Look, what's that saying? The same people.
You know what I'm saying? The same people that you pass on to come up, you're gonna see on the way down.
On the way down.
But he's not coming down, he's on the way up.
Exactly.
So if you in his way on the way up, you getting knocked down, you getting buried in the land.
Matter of fact, I just hired you to go get my shovel that
Exactly.
you gonna grab for me.
You know, we're gonna keep going down.
There was another one I touched on. He had that kind of same mentality that I was with when we're talking about that generational wealth. If you can find his.
You see, I've got it right here.
There it is.
My man Leo. Shout out to Leo, man. Always outspoken. Always has something to say. Always speaks his mind, man. We love him for that. His comment was, when you waste your life grinding for the white man's wealth, you're digging your own grave. If you can even afford one after the wasted years. So his point of view is when you out here working, when you're working for these big corporations, these big companies that already created generational wealth for their families, you know, at certain times with these big corporations, some of them really don't care about their employees. So when you out there slaving and you out there grinding, you out there working, giving them the best of your life, you're sacrificing time away from your family and stuff like that. By the time you actually come to an age where you can retire, what do you have left? How much energy do you have left to actually do something for yourself? I definitely see his point of view because, you know, like I said, we originally from, you know, New York City before we was able to migrate down here.
Jungle.
You know, Flushing, Queens to be exact.
Shout out to the home team.
You know, shout out to the Wasteland, shout out to the Bland Projects.
By the way, it might not mean much to people, but my Knicks won last night. I'm gonna shout that out. So I don't care if nobody got to say that.
I don't know what the Phoenix Suns won, but you know, it's Phoenix all day, every day. Suns Nation, you know, we out here. But, you know, we from the concrete jungle, so our perspective and the way we see things sometimes, our environment shape the way how we view society and stuff. Whether right or wrong, you know, it's just the way we see it. You know, we all here to grow, we all here to edify and become better people. So Leo, salute, man. I really appreciate
Thank you for the comment,
man. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, just we want to put it in mind, just get into the space where you want to work for yourself, where you want to have ownership of something and say that it's mine. It's different. It's a different tactic to it when you say it's mine.
I want to bring, before we jump off real quick, before we jump into another a music break, you know, real fast, I just want to touch on one more topic, one more comment that somebody made. Shout out to the homie M. Derek Bill. Salute out there in D.C. holding it down. I hope the weather ain't too bad out there, brother. His comment was, the question to ask is why not enjoy life now? Nobody said you can't work hard and play hard. Do the damn thing.
Mm.
Then you won't have that time to think about grades or dying.
Mm.
You will be too busy enjoying life. See, his perspective, strictly Hakuna Matata, man. Live life, have fun, enjoy it, work hard, do what you do, and also play hard. And you know, that right there.
Don't take no for an answer. Like,
exactly.
you're in a space that if you want to do something, you can do it within your means. Do it.
Just make it happen.
Like, do it. Like, I had plenty of times where I'm sitting there like, yeah, I gotta put in this request to make sure I get this day. And I'm a grown man asking for permission to have time with my family. Like, if you don't have a problem with that, like, there's something wrong.
Right.
In that aspect, there's something wrong.
And I will say this about my homie Derek, man. You know, I respect this dude so much. This man was in the salute because you was in the military, man. You served your time. I appreciate all my people.
Thank you.
This man done traveled the world. He done seen things, and you know, he definitely talk what he lives. He works hard, and he's always having fun. You know, he's my friend on Facebook and stuff like that. So I get to see him, you know, take some posts.
Salute.
You know, the times he spends with his son. You know, when he does certain things with his, he's in the Boy Scouts and stuff like that.
Okay,
so he
so
does
community
things like
work.
that, community
Okay,
work.
salute
Yo,
that.
Awesome dude, man. So salute. Thank you for your point of view.
All right, we're gonna keep it rocking. We're gonna get into some more comments. Might get a call or two, give you a perspective on that. We're gonna jump into this quick music break, and then we'll be back in a moment.
We'll be back.
Respect
Remember,
the journey.
call us in 984-212-2873.
Let's go.
Holla at your boys.
Yeah. 105.1 live. We all respecting Journey. We back. So grinding or digging that early grade. We're getting a lot of traction on that question. It sparked a lot of conversation. So we are blessed to have a caller calling in. Again, documenting this moment. Why? Because one, this is our first show. To have the caller call in, so you represent the first caller on our show, so we appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
This close to home, this is my brother, my blood brother, Andre. Currently right now residing in VA, so he right down the block.
You know what I'm saying?
But I know this particular conversation
Right
is
up on
something.
I-85.
Yes, sir. This particular conversation is something he's very passionate about. I'm gonna have him drop his Instagram and all that. He does jump on periodically and drop some knowledge, stuff that I definitely pay attention to, and it's definitely impacted my life as well, whether he knew that or not. But I'm gonna let him speak to that. Dre, the line is yours, brother. What's up?
Talk your talk, family.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Small B, yo, thank you first off for putting this together. I actually did a podcast yesterday, and we spoke about just moving forward. And the hardest thing to do, because we know there's a lot of eyes on us, is to fail. But if you never try, you always fail. You'll forever be a failure. And you guys have broken these chains that have been placed on us. We know where we grew up. Brian and I, we are blood brothers, but we grew up differently. We have two different perspectives, but it's crazy how, divine intervention just aligns us for purpose. And our purpose is to share our trials and tribulations, to grow from them first as men. I know we both talk about stuff that we go through, and we help each other through our challenges, and he's honest, he's humble, he's vulnerable, and that's what makes this thing so powerful. Same thing with Jamal. I got to speak with him a few times on the phone, and our visions align. We just, finish each other's sentences, so it's dope. But one thing I would share, right, and it goes to the hustle and the grind. Are you grinding? Try to stay on topic. Are you grinding or are you staying in the grade? The question really is, it's up to you to answer that, right? And it's not really a question. It's a way for you to think, like, am I doing this for a purpose, or am I doing this for a reason?
Exactly.
It's different.
Yes.
The reason is to pay the bills. The purpose is to build a legacy. Now, don't get it twisted. Listen, not everybody's an entrepreneur. But here's the reality. If you have a 9-to-5, you're probably contributing to your 401k. Do you know anything about the stock market?
Wait,
Do you know
Dre.
anything about where your money is going?
Hold up, Jay.
Hold up, Dre.
Jay, hold up.
Yo, I just want to chime in real quick to what you said. Just like how you said, everybody's not an entrepreneur, but we can all be teammates. There's only one superstar on the team, but it takes a supporting cast so we can all win the championship. So I agree with you 100%.
Absolutely.
We all can't be entrepreneurs, but you know what? Somebody got to take the last shot at the end of the game. If it's me, so be it. But while we playing them 4 quarters, I need you guys to help me get to the last shot. You guys play a contributing role in everything that we do. I just wanted to chime in real quick and just touch on that, Drake. Go ahead, my brother.
No, but absolutely. I'm kind of a storyteller, I like to build it up a little bit, so I appreciate that, Jamal, for real, because that's ultimately the point. The reality of it is we all have to play a role. Respect the journey teaches the youth through the game of basketball the lessons in life, right? I have an organization that was my purpose as well. So the reality of it is we all need a team.
Yes.
So find a way to support each other. And support doesn't always mean putting money. Maybe it's just spending time, sharing ideas, right? Or helping them run an event for free on your weekends while instead of watching Netflix or doing what you do. Sacrifice a little for each other, right?
Support
And
can
I'm
just
not
be
saying don't watch
kind
Netflix,
words.
do what you do, right? But make sure you take care of your mental health, right? And if you do have a 9-to-5, it's crazy. The only way to make more money every week is to work overtime. So, what are you worth?
Exactly.
What are you going to do for
Yes.
you and yours, right? What education are you putting in, and what are you spitting out, and are you sharing it with your, with your children? But I just wanted to share that with you. I love y'all. Yo, keep pushing. I'm so thankful to be on here. Y'all doing a great thing, and yes, we're going to continue to build cross internationally, whatever we got to do. Let's get it done.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being the first caller to call up on Respect the Journey, man. We so appreciate you and love you, brother. We definitely expect to hear more from you, man. You're going to be a frequent caller, brother.
Yo, you already know, Jay. I'm gonna hit you when we get out of here, but I appreciate you, bro. Love you, man.
Love you too. Love y'all, man. Keep pushing.
Yeah, so that was my brother Dre right there. A wealth of knowledge. It's always a joy when we finally do get up. You know, as adults, we got a lot of responsibilities on our plates, whether it's with our spouses, family man, whatever the case
Listen,
is.
everyday life, man.
We got to actually. It was one of those moments where we speak about respecting the journey, right? And my son and my daughter had went out to New York for 2 weeks during the summertime, just give them a break from seeing this pandemic and just
Right.
seeing the same thing every day. So it was around the time of my birthday, and I didn't really have plans. Obviously, we couldn't go anywhere, couldn't really do too much, and my family was planning to do a cruise during the summertime, which they always do every summer. Ultimately, we all ended up in Florida, and I was gonna just be home, and I was like, I haven't seen him in a while, and I was a little bit down from it. At the last second, I was like, you know what? Florida is like right there. We can literally drive this.
Yes. 8
And we was
hours.
gonna take a plane, but I was like, we might need another car, drive around, whatever the case is. So we hopped in the whip and we moseyed on down the highway and got to meet up. And I was there with my brother, my sisters, my uncle, just the family all together. And we honestly, every time we get together, we have the time to sit around on the couch and just
And
shoot the
build.
breeze and
Politic.
talk, whether everything. And
Yes.
and what's good about my family, which one day I hope you get blessed the opportunity to really sit in when we're all together, is the fact that we don't condemn anybody that doesn't know something. Like if my uncle goes off and starts talking about government stuff, or Dre's gonna get into your stock markets and your financial stability and all that. My sisters get into it with the health and they're vegan and how to exercise properly and things to go into that nature. Me and T might jump in about parenting and our perspective on that. And we have so many different aspects, but if you don't know, we take the time out to then explain it.
But see, that's what it's all about, though. That's a
It's
village.
the build, and that's the
a
build we
village
talk
to
about.
build and to develop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to chime in real quick. I wanted to shout wonderful Turner L one more time out because he also made another comment in regards to the post of our topic of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
His other comment was, to be honest, Jamal Long, a lot of people think going to a 9-to-5 is grinding, but they really digging a grave.
Okay.
Depending on if they have a job or career. It's a difference. If you don't know how to make money work for you, then you're always digging your grave, no matter what you do. No disrespect to anyone who has a 9-to-5. Yo, that is so true. Money management is so important, and Drake touched on that.
Is it?
If you don't know how to make money, it's a difference between somebody who can make $100 a day and somebody who might make $2 a day.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the year, if the man who knows how to budget his money right, who only makes $2, know how to play it right, then guess what? He'll have more money at the end of the day than the gentleman who got paid $100. Because it's all about choices and decisions.
That's that financial literacy that we talk about, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Everybody's seen this meme where, excuse me if I'm butchering it, but it was more so like having more money doesn't solve money problems. If you don't know how to manage with the little bit you have, just because you've made more now doesn't all of a sudden make your literacy at another
Makes
exactly
your life better doesn't mean you're
because now I have more
smarter.
money. Because now it's like I got this amount of money where I can do whatever I want. You're gonna blow that even faster.
You're just gonna make stupider decisions.
Exactly.
On a bigger scale.
And I look, knocking on wood, this is something that I'm working on right now. I was definitely in that rut where I could see something I really wanted and be like, look, it costs $100. I got $150. So if I buy it, at least I got $50. Like that's how I looked at it. And I go out there and do it. I still have that tendency sometimes as well. I'm a little more, I want to say, I think it out a little bit more now because it's something I really want. I'm going to get it.
Hey,
I'm still stubborn in that light.
You gotta respect the journey. Make it happen, man.
But, there's a lot of perspective I have to take in when I'm doing that. Is that taking away from providing for my family? I got rent.
Got you.
We got light. We got car note.
You got
I got
responsibilities
kids.
now. You
First
got
and
kids. You
foremost, you gotta make
watch
sure
the
they
other ones
straight.
first.
And is it that me having this want more important than the needs that needs to be in place?
Other people who depend on.
Yeah, and I think a lot of homes don't have that conversation. And I was speaking with my manager the other day. I appreciate her insight. Ebony, anytime we have a conversation, whether we see eye to eye with it or not, I always take in what she's giving me. And she made a point to say, they were no longer going to celebrate Christmas, the traditional Christmas anymore. Like they may still dress up the house, do things of that nature, But the gift side of it, it ain't so much about, yo, I know this is what they would want. Let me go out and get it. Because it may only satisfy them for that moment. She said, we discussed giving stocks and bonds and things that's going to build and create wealth over time. And I was sitting there like, that's a conversation I think a lot of families need to have, because are we setting up our future? If we're blessed to have kids, regardless of the fact, right? Regardless of everybody's viewpoint, if you're blessed to have kids, right? What are we doing to make sure they're set up going forward?
Yo, you know it's so crazy that you say that. Shout out to my sister, Camille Yvette. I love you, yo. You're the best. Without you, there's no me. Me and her was just having a conversation the other day about this and how she's right now, my big sis, man. She's so amazing. She's right now in the process of learning, financial education, financial literacy.
Okay.
She's like, yo, it's not about me. I got a grandkid. I got to make sure my grandson is good. I got to make sure the little ones behind me.
Yes.
I got to be the one to break the ground and create generational wealth.
Okay.
And what I love about her is that, she started talking about it. Shout out to my big cousin Kim, who's like my big sister. We share the same birthday. Libra gang, October 22nd.
Look, Leo.
Shout out to my other big cousin, Big Ron's like my big bro. She was telling her cousins about it, just mentioning it. Not even telling them like, yo, you guys need to, get put on, whatever. You guys need to do this, whatever.
Okay.
Chopping it up. Out of nowhere, my cousins is like, yo, I love what you're doing. Let's get down. So now it's a team. So, now it's the family. So now it's not one person just creating generational wealth for a grandchild. No, you got other cousins, other parts of the family creating their own generational wealth, so that the whole family, as a team, as a squad, is going to be great.
Well, look, there was a saying, and there's a lot of people that look at, let's take Tupac, for example, right? They get into debate more so of who's the greater rapper. Is it Biggie? Is it Pac? Right? I never like to get into that conversation, whether it's Biggie, whether it's Pac, whether it's LeBron, whether it's Jordan. Everybody is great in their respective right, especially if it's two individuals that didn't even come in the same time.
I hate comparing legends to a legend.
Yeah, now
they're
Pac,
legends for their own reason.
Now Pac and Biggie, a little bit different. They were sort of around the same time, right? But we get into the conversation about, all right, who had the better catalog, who was the better lyricist, and that's the discussion. But to me, the conversation should be more so who had the bigger impact. Right, and it's a difference between Biggie, New York, Brooklyn, putting us on the map, right? Then you got Pop with his message, whether East Coast, West Coast, it was for everybody, but his message was for everybody because he made that statement, which why I chimed in on what you were saying was, you may not be the one that makes the change, but you could be the one that sparks somebody else to take that first step.
Yeah,
and that's what people don't understand. That's why I appreciate the conversation we had with D the other night on the phone about what he was doing with this radio station. And it's, I have a station, now I have a platform to help somebody else get in line to do what they want to do. Like, bearing bad weather today, but the mentorship he was going to do today with the kids. It's like somebody might want to work radio when they get down the line. We know this is a format of occupation that's going to be around because they need to get information out.
This is going to be the future.
So
this is the future.
Doing things like individuals like that, you need to be around. You need to gravitate pull. And I think that's a connection we had with him where the conversations we done had, everything we've spoken about so far, I'm like, yo, this is, and then looking at what's on the wall right now with that saying right there, says, it didn't happen to you, it happened for you.
I was just about to say, you got to tell them what it means.
And I said, I'm going to stop saying things are crazy.
It's crazy
when things is already aligned that way.
Line too. It's crazy.
Like it didn't just happen to you, it happened for you. Like I'm in this position, like everything, my situation.
Everything about the journey.
Exactly. And the perfect timing with me transitioning into an at-home position at my 9 to 5, right? But that happened at the time that we're now venturing into this. And again, that wasn't by accident.
No.
So
and please understand, when we say things don't happen by accident, it's because we work towards these goals. Mm-hmm. We put out certain energy, certain effort, and we pursued ourselves to get certain things to get it done. So it's not just by chance. It's not just by luck. We don't wish. We don't hope. We work. So when these things happen, it's like, oh wow, that's crazy, because we forget that we laid down the blueprint for it to happen. We're just continually working. Mm-hmm. So when opportunities come, we like, yo, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
And then we got to take a second to think about it. We're like, nah, fam, we was grinding.
But see, there's nothing wrong with that either, right? And I had to stop doing that as well. And I'm gonna go into some of the comments that we're getting in the chat right now. there was a time frame where I was so fixated on what I wanted to do, right? And then it wasn't happening. And then I'm getting down on myself. Like, yo, what am I doing what's not making it click, right? And then it got to a point where it's like, but wait a minute. And I think it was actually you that brought it up, because we was going to the Charlotte Hornet game and we was having that discussion on the way there, and you said, but pay attention to the things you have done and you have accomplished, right? So that night I went home and I wrote down everything, and that list was pretty long, right?
I had somebody, one of my homies hit me up the other day, and it was, you know what I'm saying, we were having a regular conversation, and they was telling me everything that I accomplished. It's like, yo, Jay, you realize you did this. I'm like, wow, just like how you had that, it's like a eureka moment. And I'm like, yo, I appreciate that. Thank you for acknowledging it. The journey, but in my mind, we got so much further to go.
It was two perspectives on that. Like, don't cap yourself. Don't limit yourself at something. Like, realize the things you're doing, right? Because what we started, right? What we started this as, and we was having that discussion about, all right, so we got this opportunity to be on this podcast and do this show.
Yep.
But now that opens up other avenues of stuff. And you laid it out, and I'm looking at it like, yo, you're right. I didn't even realize, the opportunity that's going to come with that.
Family, again, shout out to the whole family at 101 Live.
105.1.
My bad. G-check.
It's new. We gonna get it.
Get it right. Hey, respect the journey. This is what it's about. We make mistakes.
Pick it up and
this
look.
Is what we do. We pick up. We acknowledge it.
That's what your team is for.
And we keep it pushing.
Let me get into one of these comments here. Let me not think they're not listening.
I just want to give them a shout out.
Shout out to Mom Dukes again. She's in the chat right now.
Shout out. Thank you.
She asked us a question. She wants to know what our perspective is on a desire to achieve your goals, but are halted by roadblocks. How do you overcome that?
To be honest, I'm gonna take it like I take a philosophy from the late great Bruce Lee. Mm-hmm. Flow like water.
Shout out to the Lee.
Just flow like water. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna figure out a way to get over it, around it, or through it. Mm-hmm. That may take some time. You may have to sometimes sit down. There's a difference between standing still and doing nothing. Sometimes you gotta stand still and evaluate the situation, get good grounding. I made a Facebook post the other day, like sometimes you got to take a knee, like Cap, ground yourself, see what's going on, feel the dirt.
Yo, shout out to Cap, man.
Yo, salute.
Yo,
because he started a major movement.
As these big brands and these companies are now moving into, their talks about allyship, how they support, the Black Lives Matter movement and things of that nature. But I want to put on the forefront on the stage right now and spotlight the fact that my man Cap, regardless of what he may be doing, but that man still ain't have a job, right?
Exactly, he was out there.
My man walked away from millions of dollars
for something he believed in.
Right? Had no problem with that. He may have kids, a wife, a lifestyle that he's accustomed to living since being in the NFL. Whether the discussion is he's not signed because he's not good enough, that's whatever. And
that goes to show,
but he gave up
for what you believe
something
in.
He worked for forever for what he believed in, right? And still to this day, right, when everyone is now saying, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand now. But he still doesn't have a job.
And he was on an island by himself.
Salute that man.
Yes.
Like, at the end of the day, salute that man as he still, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
He still doesn't have a job.
But
she also, real quick, she said, in order for the continuous legacy, first and foremost, we have to get away from that crab in the barrel mentality.
Yes.
There's always one person that will undermine your ultimate goal and try to pull you back, right? And again, we got to get into not having that time to have the conversations and better understanding on why. It has been put in our mind, like when we see that one guy that's getting it and no one else is getting it, we all feel like, no, we got to go get him now.
Exactly.
He's no longer with us because he's up there, we're here.
But
right? Instead of having that conversation where, let me tell you what I did.
But what we also got to do too? Mm-hmm. We got to embrace the people who make it out. And the people who leave, who have the opportunity to make it out, you guys have to come back. Don't forget your grassroots. Don't forget where you came from. And when I say make it out, that doesn't mean you did something, super famous and you making millions of dollars. No. If you're the average Joe who grew up in the hood, in any hood, all right? It doesn't matter what hood, what state, what country, whatever. Wherever you grew up at, if you grew up through hardships, you know what the grind is about. You know what shortcomings is about. Take your time and give back to the community that you gave to, that you came
And
from.
even if it's just one person.
Yes.
Like it don't gotta be like,
it ain't gotta be a big grand scale.
Exactly. It don't have to be on the grand stage of like I built this program and I built
No.
this machine or whatever kids. Like I could take one person and inspire, like what we're doing with these kids, right? Each of them has their own individual. Out of the
Yes.
13, 14 kids we got,
They're
they
their
all
own
have their
individual.
own individual story, right? But we're all touching them in a single way that's only to them.
That's
Right?
individualized for them.
And-
And they're going to take that and they're going to grow and be wonderful people. You know, they're going to remember the things that we're doing now for them. And in turn, pay it
Shout
forward.
out, two shout outs I want to bring out. Shout out to my man. Shout out to Sean.
Sean, young Sean.
Knucklehead. But
Yeah,
shout out
we
to
love
Sean.
him. We love a little big knucklehead, man.
Like that, the scenario that we had after that practice that one time, it hit me in a different way, in another perspective. Where remember we was getting to the conversation about the Penny Hardaway jersey I was going to
Yes.
give him, right? And I mentioned to him, I said I'm going to give you this jersey because I said I was going to give it to you, so I owed that to you, but you didn't earn this. But I'm not going to go back on my word that I said I was going to give you something, right? He took the jersey, but then he gave it back, and he said, "No, I'm going to earn the jersey, then give it back to me."
You know, I'm gonna give a shout out to Sean too, cause remember that day? I think it was last summer. He came to practice and he was hype.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Yo, coaches, yo, I got baptized."
Yeah. I still got
And-
that picture.
Yo, that young man was so happy. The joy in his face from being, from taking that commitment, and for him wanting to tell us. I don't know what meant more to him, getting baptized or telling us,
letting us know that
or letting us know, like,
Yeah.
yo, I did this. I'm here. This is what I choose to do with my life now. And I think as a coach, as a mentor, that right there, I don't have to coach a game.
That trumps
ever.
everything. Yeah.
I don't have to coach another
'Cause
basketball
your-
game for the
your
rest
job
of my
was
life.
complete in that
my
one
job
moment.
was complete right that one moment. I inspired him to do something great. We did something for that young man that he turned around and he wanted to do something wonderful for himself, which in turn is going to help him do something wonderful for somebody else
greater.
later down the line.
Yeah.
You know?
So this conversation we can go on all day with
Right,
this,
we
but
can
we're gonna
run
take
it.
another break real quick. Please keep your comments coming in the chat. 105.1 live, streaming Facebook live
Yo,
right now.
When we come back, we got some Black History facts.
Yes,
for you, man.
yes,
We
we'll
gonna
touch
jump
on
in.
that.
It's that month.
And we also gonna reach out to a couple of people for our top journeys of the week.
Yes.
Just some individuals in the community that we know are out here putting boots to the ground, and we just want to salute you for the work that you're doing.
We appreciate
If you haven't been shouted out, we're gonna do that for you
Don't
right
worry,
now.
we're gonna get to you.
But we're gonna jump into this music break, and we'll be back. 105.1 live. Respect the journey.
We out here, baby.
So 105.1 live, we back. Respect the journey. Yes, I had to hit him with a little music, Soul Child. Can't
I see.
forget, it's still
Ain't nothing wrong
Valentine's
with
Day
that.
weekend. Deserve You More. That's a fire track.
You know,
Spitting to his lady why he deserved to have in his life.
I respect that. You know, I went with Surface, Feeling Good. You know, always
Okay.
gotta have them positive vibes.
That was a good vibe. That was a good
man.
vibe of song. Now when you hit me with that the other day, I never heard that
Never
group
heard of it?
before. Never heard that song.
Man.
Obviously, my son knows it. Pretty sure he TikTok or YouTube or something like that. But
I think that's where I heard it from, like a movie, YouTube, a commercial. So
All
I
right.
was like, oh, all right, I like that vibe. Man. I gotta research.
nah,
the
it
young
was
boys.
a good vibe. It make you get up and 1-2 step around the room.
Yeah, I listen to it on the weekends, man. That's what I do.
Yeah. So topic of discussion, we were discussing are you really grinding or are you digging an early grave? And again, we're speaking in reference to are you putting that energy towards someone else's dreams or are you taking the time out to put that same energy into your passions and your goals? So we've been getting a lot of traction, a lot of comments, responses to the question, a lot of good insight. But we do have another caller on the line. Again, another special person. This is Mama Dolla in the building on the phone
Mama love.
with the call in. She definitely wants to chime in on this topic here. Angie B, are you on the line with us right now?
I'm on the line.
Mama love.
Mama Love in the building. So she definitely hit me with, why haven't you sent the number so that we can call in? So trial and error. But we got you on the line.
Yeah, respect the journey. You gotta join us with the journey. We in the progress.
Now again, a lot of also with this question in particular, you were also in mind, just speaking to your journey and things that you've gone through in the last few years. That also kind of sparked that question and gives me a lot of insight on how I view things now, just based off of the things you're going through when you call me and we have our discussions and the advice we play off of each other. But what is your take on that particular subject?
Well, first of all, I have to say it has to take a lot of experience because in order for you to have failures, you have to go through a lot through life. Now, some people in turn can take the crossroads. You can either go left or you can go right. The left side is saying, I tried, I quit, I don't want to do it. The right side is to refer back to your past problems and understand where you failed at, where you can diminish that and then go forward so you can be a successful person in life. Myself included, I mean, it depends because everybody has a road to travel. Some people do it younger. Some people do it older. Some people do it in the first half. Some people in the second half. But you should never quit.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you need, like Jamal had touched on. He touched on a team. If you surround yourself around a lot of people who have positivity and want to achieve or have the same matters in life, then you'll be able to see and have a platform where you can just bounce off of that. A lot of people learn later on in life that I can't remember the exact saying, but it's a tree. You have the leaves, you have the branches, and you have the roots. Some people are there for a season and for a reason. But for myself, you try to get the ones that are rooted. Those are the people that's going to be around you the most.
Mm-hmm.
So for myself, I haven't really achieved what I set out. So I'm looking in the second half of my life, be it, staying here in New York or making that proverbial move to North Carolina.
We waiting.
To achieve what I have.
We here.
Because I know. I've been, I haven't been around a lot of people that has pushed me forward. I've always been a go-getter. You know that. Always been doing it on my own. But sometimes you need that fallback. Sometimes you need that crutch that can help, lean on you and be able to push you forward and excel. That doesn't mean you need compliments, but you do need that assurance. My question to you, Jamal and Brian, is tell the audience how you guys came up with the concept of Respect the Journey logo. What made you pick that particular set of words?
Well, I guess I'll be the first one to set it off since you put us on the spot like that.
And the governments.
And the governments too. You know, now they really looking for us. You know, but when we was coming up, you know, how we came up with Respect the Journey, and the name and the concept, how we chose to drop off the Y and just keep it an E and transition it into an acronym for what we believe in. It goes back even before Respect the Journey. It goes back to when, you know, my man B Dolla had, you know, Safe, you know, his community program, Safe in the community, doing things like that. And I had Beyond Natural Limits, you know, BNL, the basketball program. So as we touched earlier, you know, how it takes a team. Individually, we was doing something good. You know, we was in the community, we was helping people out respectively. I think we both realized we reached our zenith as individuals. We couldn't take what we wanted to do any further. We recognized that, you know, it was going to take a team for it to happen. It was just so great that one day B Dollar reached out and was like, "Yo, hey, what you think about joining forces and getting this job done together?" You know, at that moment, I was like, "Yo, that is perfect, because where I'm at on this journey, I'm stuck. I can't go any further. I reached my plateau. I just can't do it. I need help." As we started discussing, you know, brainstorming with names and stuff like that, we wanted to use, you know, something that everybody could relate to. Everybody can, you know, it means something to everyone. First, you know, we went with our childhood favorite, one of our childhood favorite movies.
Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon. And we seen how the main character, Bruce Leroy, at the end of the movie, when he found his way, he got the glow. He completed his journey, and he started to glow. He knew his supreme power, his essence, and what he was supposed to do in life. So we was gonna call it the glow, but then we was playing with it. And we was like, nah.
Like the logo aspect just wasn't hitting.
It just wasn't hitting. So we started to break down the concept of the movie. He was on a journey. He started traveling. He had to understand who he was by himself as an individual. He had a team. He had help around. He had people to come around him to help him achieve his goal. And so we started talking, and we started talking about how we migrated from New York down to North Carolina. We was on our own personal journey, and then we just realized the word journey kept coming up over and over and over again. And so then at that point, you know, I'm gonna let B Dollar finish the story. You know, go ahead, my brother.
So basically the fact that every scenario that we came up with to kind of find the meaning of what the purpose of what we were trying to do was, like you said, journey kept coming up. And then I was just like, yo, respect the journey. Respect everything that we've gone through, you know, our examples of that. And we're now pushing that forward onto whoever we're trying to help, you know, because now they're on their journey. This is what B-Dollar, this is what Jay went through, similar to what I'm going through. All right, now this is how we now take that next step. And it just made sense that just flowed, respect the journey. Yep. And then, you know, Jay came up with the acronym, joining others under righteousness, nobility, and equality. Try to say that fast. But the fact is, you know, we have a lot on our back as black men to kind of rewrite the narrative of what's being portrayed in media, what's portrayed out in the world, of what black men are about, what family men are about, what black husbands are about. And my thing was to rewrite that. This is actually what goes on, not what they want to sell and what, you know, get clickbait.
It's not what you see on TV.
Yeah. But in turn, in doing that, even though the two black men are the face of what's going on, we're still incorporating everybody in the world, because the separation that we have right now is the problem. So it's not that we're so much like, yeah, you were out here, we're marching, we're fighting because we're saying, hey, we just need a seat at the table. But it's not even so much just I want a seat at the table. No, you're going to hear what I'm saying and realize that what I'm trying to push forward is the benefit of everybody, not just one particular.
And when we get to the table, we want to make sure everybody got something good to eat.
Exactly.
You know, I don't want nobody to get less of the less. No, listen, you get the big piece of chicken, I want the big piece of steak. Listen, we all going to eat good. We eat healthy. You know, cut me a piece of your chicken breast, I'm going to cut you a piece of my steak. Let's trade.
Everybody gets an invite.
You know, everybody gets an invite. Everybody eats good.
Just don't bring the Tupperware. But what I'm saying is everybody gets a shot, you know? And then, like I said, what cemented that, once we really started getting everything going, one of the moms, again, shout out to Sean's mom, she came up to me one morning after dropping the kids at school, and she kind of went into a little bit about, you know, their journey and what they were going through, coming from D.C. or Baltimore, and then ultimately migrating down here to North Carolina. And she was like, yeah, we came out here and searched for our new journey. And it's just so funny that the name of your group is Journey. So it just made sense. And I was like, here go that word journey again.
Yep.
And at that point, and once you get the meaning behind it, it just takes off. Like, shout out to Restoration is a Journey in the building.
Yeah, we gotta give them a big shout out because
the plug.
Without with them, listen, without Restoration is a Journey, we respect the journey. Wouldn't be here right now. They gave us a wonderful opportunity to do an interview. So
exactly.
Thank you.
When we disclosed to them, what the meaning of that was, they gave us the same reaction that everybody gets when we break down what the word journey actually means. It's like, wait, you're not just gonna breeze past that. Say that again, because a lot of people feel that they understand that, and we're not in this position to be selfish with anything. Look, we are here to now join the 105.1 family. Now, how are we helping y'all out? What do y'all need us to do to push your brand even further? And that's what that journey is about. Who we meeting along the way. Yeah.
And you know what? For the people in the back, when to touch spaces, when you said you trying to get everyone to eat off of that plate, that means all genders.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people will get that concept because you are two young kings that they're only looking out for the younger king.
Mm-hmm.
No, they mean to put everybody.
Everybody
gets to eat. It doesn't matter what color, what gender, what religion, it doesn't matter. You guys are trying to reach the masses.
Yeah.
And before I forget, I just want to say I'm so proud of you two and your future endeavors.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Mama Love, for checking in. We're going to hit you back after the show is over, but we appreciate the listen, the call in, and all the work that you're also doing for us behind the scene with just reposting things, getting your old school people to understand the new wave. And understand we all walking this path together. Yeah.
Most definitely.
But thank you. Love you, Mama.
Because I know somebody else is trying to love you more. Enjoy the guys, and I had to call in on your inaugural radio show.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Love you both.
All right.
Listen, I got to give your moms a shout out, right? I'm going to big up real fast. Growing up playing basketball in New York City, me and B Dolla, we grew up in the same neighborhood. Didn't really grow up, didn't really play on the same team unless it was like a street ball tournament, a street ball game, whatever. We just pick up game. But whatever game B Dolla had, his mom's was right there, front and center. And not just at the game.
With the goofy camera.
Yo, not just at the
shoulder
game.
joint.
Yo, she's live and direct talking trash
On the
to
court.
the opposing team. Like, you got to tell mom, like, yo, mom, sit down. Hold on. You in the way.
I don't mean to cut you over. This one make me laugh all the time. There was one particular game we was playing out in Jamaica, and I kept going right. No, I'm sorry. I kept going left because she used to employ that go left, because I'm predominantly a right hand. So she used to always, you're going to go left, and work on that. So there was one particular game, every move I made was to the left. And she hears the other coach go, force him right. All you hear her in the crowd was, oh, nah, you don't want to do that.
Yo.
So my mom is one of those moms.
Do you remember the last tournament that me and you played in? We was opposing teams for that charity tournament in the boys club.
But you have to set that first. That, mind you, it was for charity.
Oh, it's a charity tournament. It was strictly a charity tournament, 3-on-3 tournament at the boys
for
club.
autism.
For kids with autism. So we playing in the tournament. Yo, me and B Dolla, I think it was right before the championship game, right?
Mm-hmm. It was the game that goes to the chip.
It was pretty much I was on the island by myself. Shout out to my teammates. I ain't gonna say their names, but
they didn't matter then either.
Yeah, I was on the team by myself. No, he's not lying. I was on the team by myself at that particular moment. I was going against B Dolla, another young man, Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
We all know he got a trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Dirk Nowinski don't miss.
Yeah, the hood Nowinski.
So it was pretty much like a 2-on-1. And I just remember, in reality, it was a 3-on-1 because I had to talk smack to your moms on the sideline.
Yeah.
She was giving me the heat.
She's that heckler in the crowd that you can't stand. Somebody get her out the gym.
Yo, I'm talking about, but that was one of the best games. So I just want to give her a shout out just for always being a number one supporter, always supporting what we do, man. We appreciate you.
From day one. So what I wanted to do, we wanted to jump into a little bit of facts. It is Black History Month. I'm a big advocate that I would love for, although we make this the big grander things, with it being February, Black History Month, but this is discussions that need to continue even after.
Yes.
It needs to be in March. It needs to be in May. It needs to be in April. That was out of order. Don't hold me to that. June, July, August. You know, that's something we need to speak about on the regular. Even though we're going to highlight it right now, we need to celebrate all year round because we are just as important as any other historic fact that you want to lay out in a textbook, you know, that we hear about. But we also want to dig a little deeper and start hearing about people that you don't normally hear. You hear Black History Month, you go, hey, Dr. King. You hear Malcolm X, Rosa Parks. You know, all those names that we always hear on a regular. Black History Month could be somebody that you see yesterday, somebody you're gonna meet tomorrow. So right now, what we want to do is we had ModelCitizen J pick a few people. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give one from the past, one from the present, and then one that we see that's gonna make an impact in the future. If you are ready to go, I'll let you kick it off with who you found.
I'm ready.
And then I'll jump in.
I got my 3.
All right, so go ahead, hit him with it.
All right, my first from the past. This gentleman right here. If it wasn't for him, I don't think my childhood would be as fun as it was.
Okay.
I don't think a lot of children's childhood would have been as fun as it was. You know. I'm gonna highlight my man Lonnie George Johnson, born October 6, 1949.
Okay.
He's an African-American inventor, aerospace engineer, and entrepreneur whose work includes a U.S. Air Force term of service and a 12-year stint at NASA, where he worked at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Okay.
Now, that's wonderful. That's great because he did some things with NASA, you know, moving that technology, doing wonderful things. But for me, why he's my hero, listen, if you ever played with a super soaker, if you ever had a water gun fight, you're going to have to thank Lonnie for this one.
Okay.
All right. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but before the 90s, you know, if you remember the water pistols that we had, you pull the trigger, your finger get wet more than you wet somebody. It wasn't a water gun fight.
Because it's breaking right down
yeah,
here.
it was
It's
breaking.
like,
Listen, it wasn't a water gun fight. You had a duel. You took 2 paces,
Right.
turned around, you had to shoot each other, and you get like 5 shots. It was like a 6-shooter.
Right.
You know? But then when Lonnie came out and he invented that super soaker, listen, you had water battles.
Changed the game.
It changed the game. You had the 50. Remember the hundreds and the 50s, the 150s?
So you
Lonnie,
had the barrel up here, and then you had the other barrel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
you had a water gun fight. It was no longer a duel. You could run around the block.
It was real.
It was real.
It was real.
So, Lonnie, we want to thank you for contributing to a wonderful childhood for thousands of kids across the world. Appreciate
Thank you, sir.
brother.
All right, so it was fitting that and something that I would, for myself, the fact that we chose that we were going to do this segment also makes me want to do a little bit more research as well. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not one that's always looked up Black history. And there's a lot of things about Black history that I don't know. Like, that was something new that I just learned just now. So for me, this is something I want to continue to do going forward. Like I said, look, we might even just implement this on the regular, even way beyond February.
Listen, just because it's February, we can call it Black history, but on the real, it's American history.
Exactly.
I don't, for February, we're going to use Black history. After this, continuing forward, we're just going to call it American history. And that doesn't mean it's going to be somebody of African-American descent. America is a country of immigrants. So we're going to highlight any and everybody on all 8 walks of journey because we all contributed.
Shout out to my coworker OG, Ryan Warsaw. He just hit us with Black history is American history. That you are right, sir.
Appreciate that, my
and
brother.
we're going to make sure they know that. So for my Black history pass, I looked up a gentleman by the name of John Mercer Langston. He was born December 14th, 1829, and he died November 15th, 1897. Okay? Now, that was a long time ago. Right. Very long time ago.
Some time ago.
But a little bit into his history here. John Mercer Langston was the first black man to become a lawyer when he passed the bar in Ohio in 1854.
Wow.
Okay? When he was elected to the post of town clerk of Brown Helm, Ohio in 1855, Langston became one of the first African Americans ever elected into public office in America. John Mercer Langston was also the great uncle of the great Langston Hughes, famed poet of the Harlem Renaissance. He was also the first dean of the law school at Howard University. So a lot of firsts under this man's name.
Yeah, this man was a trailblazer.
Yes.
He was kicking down doors.
Exactly. The movie that Michael B. Jordan just did recently, or about last year, what was that movie again? It was him and Jamie Foxx. It skips my mind right now.
Crickets. I don't know.
You're terrible.
I'm horrible. I am the worst.
What was it? No, it wasn't.
Exactly. He's just
Anyway,
like me.
The point of that movie was he was going down there, wrongfully convicted black felons that weren't getting the proper representation. I believe it was in Indiana. And he did a lot of firsts as well, taking risks that people did not want to take on, and also having the confidence to say, this man was wrongfully accused, I'm going to get him out based on the fact that justice is not being served. And obviously at a very heightened racist time, for him to be able to go out there and do that. So reading this, I kind of think of him in that to say, first, having the confidence to step out and say, this is what I'm going to do. We know a lot of, back in the day, even still to some of these days now, blacks are not allowed to do a lot of things, are not looked upon as capable of doing. And the first to come out and say, yeah, I was the first that did that.
The pioneer.
So salute to that, being the pioneer.
We appreciate you.
We'll keep it rolling with this. Somebody from the present.
From the present. All right. For me, this is definitely personal. Touches heart.
You know what? Let me give a shout out. The young bull in the back, Just Mercy. That's the name of the movie. Thank you, sir.
Yo, thank you, Young
Thank
Jay.
you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Look.
Awesome
Pay it
autumn.
forward.
We appreciate you.
But yes, I'm present. Continue, brother.
In the present, there's two people I have right now for the present I just want to shout out. I want to shout out you, B. Dolla. You are the present, current, I want to say Black History Month, because you out here, you doing it.
I appreciate that.
We out here for the kids. We made a commitment. We stuck to the script. And we laying down a foundation for the youth. Not just our kids, but for kids of all races, all, genders, religious backgrounds. We're doing something for you guys.
I appreciate that, brother.
The other person I want to give a shout out to and I want to salute and acknowledge is the extraordinary engineer behind the boards.
Yes, sir.
My man Derek Watson,
AKA D Major.
AKA D Major is never minor. But you, my friend, you're laying down a platform, the foundation for the youth as well. You're creating history. This is, I'll say it again.
We are.
I'll rephrase that.
Okay.
We are creating history, but the only reason why we are here is because you started something. So get your roses, my brother. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to put them on your grave. We're going to hand them to you in your hand.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes,
and
sir.
That's another thing we about at Respect the Journey. We about giving people their roses, their flowers while they living.
Yes, sir.
If it's on your grave, you can't appreciate it. I want you to smell it, acknowledge it, and know that somebody out here has your back. So to you two gentlemen, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate it.
You inspire me, and I know in turn you're inspiring kids to be great as well.
We appreciate that.
You guys are the future.
Yes. Thank you, my brother. And coming back to you, I'm going to share that same sentiment because I am not on this journey alone. And what I am able and capable to do now is with your support. And like you said, we are piggybacking off of each other. We are motivating each other. We are driving each other to do better. So for that, I thank you for that as well.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You would not be able to say what you just said for me if in turn I did not give that back to you.
I appreciate that, family.
Yes. My present, again, something I would have never known had I not researched this for myself. Try to look up something I never knew. She goes by the name of Claudette Colvin.
Okay.
She is 81 years old. From my knowledge, from what I researched, she is still living. So at 81 years old, standing. She was arrested at the age of 15 for refusing to give up her seat to a white woman. Now, here's the fun fact with that. This was 9 months before Rosa Parks.
Wow.
So, what we all graciously celebrate Rosa Parks for taking that stance, this woman actually did that 9 months before. Now, the reason we don't know about that is because she was only 15 when it happened. So, the NAACP, because of how old she was, did not want to put her name in that mainstream of fighting.
Got you.
Exactly.
They was protecting the youth.
Yes.
Protect the youth.
For that segregation law and that lawsuit that they were going after, saying that this is wrong, you can't do this. So because she was considered a minor in that, they didn't want to put her name in that. So when Rosa Parks did it, her being of age,
exactly, an adult,
they went with her.
She can handle the stage.
Exactly.
She can handle the bright lights and the pressure.
But yes, she was actually the first to actually take that stance and say, "You're not going to do that to me at 15 years old."
That's beautiful.
But despite the number of personal challenges that she had, Colvin became one of the 4 plaintiffs in the Browder versus Gale case. The decision in 1956 was ruled that Montgomery's segregated bus system was unconstitutional. So she was one of the driving forces behind getting that law changed. So salute to Claudette Calvin. Again, from my research, that she is standing at 81 years old and still living.
Beautiful. Thank
so
you.
again, this is giving you your roses to smell while you are still here.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
And that was
Appreciate you.
that was my present.
All right. I guess that leaves the future.
That leaves the future. I think we can combine on that.
Yeah, which I think is so beautiful that you just happen to mention Miss Claudette as your present, because I think that it ties into who the future is.
Mm-hmm.
Black History future for me is my son, is my nieces, my nephews, is the kids on the basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are the now. You guys are the later. You guys are the future. We out here doing things for you guys, but we're doing it solely based upon the things that you tell us. You give us the inspiration and the hope to go out there and work and come up with things and ideas so you guys can be great. So we just want to let you know we want to give you your roses now as well.
Yes.
Andre, I love you, young man. You're so wonderful and so dope in so many different ways. You make me a better person. I'm a better father, a better person, a better human being because of who you are, because of the way you move and the way you act and the questions you ask me. To my nieces and my nephews, yeah, I love y'all. You guys are so dope. You guys are young adults now, but, growing up, it was just Uncle Jamal and my crew and my little team. You guys made me a better person. You guys helped contribute and give me learn lessons that made me a better father. To my basketball team, I love you guys, man. You guys are so amazing, the youth. Your energy is so wonderful. You keep me young. As adults, sometimes we get caught up in everyday life, so we forget certain things. You guys come up with your energy and you say certain things. Sometimes it drives me crazy, but overall, I love it.
Kids being kids.
I love it, Stay young, stay vibrant, believe in yourself, and always know we got your back. You are the future. How about
Trying to
you,
make
my
us shed
brother?
tears. We ain't got tissue.
Hey.
Nah, but yeah, I mean, I share that same sentiment. As like I said, we was gonna definitely align on this last part, as we are on a daily witnessing what the future holds. Even if we're just a small part of that, we got 13, 14 minds that we are molding alongside with their parents.
Yes.
And just kind of getting them.
And listen, shout out to the parents as well for
Yeah.
trusting us.
Form for
You
the
know,
future. Yo,
Like,
I want to look. I want to shout out to the parents of the kids that we have.
yo,
I'm
y'all
gonna
amazing.
put this into perspective for you of the load that we carry, but why it's so significant. Because outside of my own niece, my son, and my cousin Troy, all the other kids were just friends of them.
Just kids
And
in
it
the
was like,
neighborhood.
hey, we're going to the court, we're going to play basketball, yada, 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 right? And then as we start to blossom and grow into, hey, yo, we're going to take these kids to Raleigh. We're going to go,
Exactly.
we're going to go from Durham to Greensboro.
We're gonna go to
Yeah.
a basketball game. We're gonna take them to the movies.
And
We're taking them out to eat.
They are willingly going,
Here
here you go,
take my child, have fun, enjoy
take my
it.
kids. Now, as a parent, and for the parents out there as well, I'm pretty sure that when it comes to your kids, you don't play no games. You're with all the smoke, and you are going to protect by any means.
Bunch of mama bears out
If you don't know an individual from a hole in the wall, yeah, I'm sorry. Where are they going? Nah,
there. Who
that's
are you?
good. They
What's
cannot.
your name? Where you from?
And the fact that these parents that didn't know us from Adam, to trust us with their children and
most
their well-being
prized
and their
possession.
safety, and saying, hey, yes, you can take them here. You can take them even if it's 5 minutes away. Yes, you can take them out to eat. You can take whatever the case
Yes.
is. Thank you for trusting what we are trying to do and seeing
Believing in us.
the good and what we're actually trying to do. Seeing that we actually care about the growth of your children and where they're going to school, how they're doing in school, what they're going to do as they get older when they finally get on their own. Thank you for that. Honest to God. But yes, the kids on the team of the future, we thank y'all again for trusting us with your futures.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you said it all, so.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Well, all good things must come to an end.
Yes.
We had so much more in store, but Yeah, I think that's wonderful though, because
Yeah,
you know
save
we have
some-
some for next week,
Give 'em
right?
some leftovers.
You know, the official show airs every Thursday, 5 p.m. to
5 to
7 p.m.
7.
All right, tune in, tap in. You know,
Yes.
you getting off of work, or you just might be getting to work.
Driving home.
Driving home, listen, we're going to have some beautiful
Get you-
topics, you know what I'm saying, to jump into, to talk about. We'll have some wonderful guests, you know, to actually physically be in here in the studio with us. You know, the number is, again, 984-212-2873.
Lock that in.
Lock it in. Give us a shout out.
So real quick, as we head out of here, before you hit us off with our closing, again, big shout out to D
Yo,
on the boards.
D, thank
you
you
for the opportunity.
1051 Live.
1051 Live, we here.
We here, baby.
Thankful to be a part of the family.
Rookies of the year. That's what we're trying to be.
Hopefully, we're adding just another element to what you're ultimately trying to build here, and we are more of an asset than a hindrance.
And shout out to all the other shows and programs on
Yes.
here. We are here for you guys as well.
Exactly.
Pardon my ignorance. If we'd have did a little bit more homework, we'd have been shouting y'all shows out. Listen, everybody, if you listening right now to us, tap in on the regular, all right? There's a bunch of amazing programs, dope personalities on this show, on this network. Come on, we need
Real
your
quick,
help.
hit them with your IGs, what they can follow. Hit them with the affirmation. We out of here.
Yo, and for social media, you can catch us on Instagram. Catch us on RTJ the Brand. Catch me at Snag07. Hit me up at ModelCitizen 1980. Team Journey at B Dolla.
Everything. B Dolla the
CEO.
CEO. BDOLLA the CEO. And Respect the Journey Inc. That'll be the nonprofit page.
You know, regular name on Facebook. I use my government, Jamal Long. That's what I am.
Brian
you know?
Smith. But we're gonna move forward. Let's hit him with the affirmation and then
Yo,
let's get
today's
outta here.
affirmation is
We don't
I
get.
gotta have so many run through my head. I gotta
Right.
think of one right now.
Don't get frustrated. I mean,
We don't get frustrated, we get focused. We gonna sit on that one. So always remember, focus on the good, respect the journey, make it happen.
out of here.
We out of here. Peace.